Hello everyone, I'm Kalen North, and welcome back to Spirit Island. Today we're going to be starting a new series, Learning Russia, watching me fumble my way through the adversary from level 1 to 6. And also, before we get started, I want to point out there is this Geek Madness competition going on for the next 2.5, 3 days, as of when I'm recording this video. I'll have a link in the description, but go ahead and vote if you're up for it if you have a BGG account. We're taking on Twilight Imperium in the finals for Spirit Island's attempt at a third victory in a row. So that's exciting. On to Russia. So we're going to play on boards C and F. I did A and B for learning Habsburg, and then I want to do C and F because I didn't really want to do D or E. I figured I'd start with C and D, and then I looked at D again, and I was like, I don't think this board is going to be helpful for just learning an adversary. And then E board, I don't know that I have a strong objection to board E. I understand that for some spirits it's a very, very good board though, and so for similar reasons of swinginess, I wanted to avoid it for now. We're going to be playing Shadows and Whirlwind. I think both of these spirits have very good matchups into Russia, so this is a bit of a counter pick. There's plenty of argument over whether Shadows really does or not, because Shadows has some other issues. But I love me some Shadows, and with Whirlwind giving it a little bit of support, I think it's gonna go well. So let's go Russia. We're gonna start at level 1. We've got an additional loss condition. The invaders will now kill beasts when they ravage and add blight. And excuse me, if we ever have more beasts destroyed by ravages than there are left on the island, the invaders will win. To add to that, they will get extra explorers on lands with beasts when they escalate, and we will add an extra explorer and an extra beast to the board. Finally, the biggest effect probably is explorers do +1 damage. We can no longer just easily pick them off. They're no longer harmless. They're actually an issue. So we'll do what we can to handle that. We are going to be avoiding the more difficult levels for now, but we'll get to those eventually. Going to be playing with Branch and Claw, Jagged Earth, and Events, as usual, and let's go into the game. Alright, Invaders start in the jungle, which is probably fine for us. We do want to do something for sure about C4 so we don't lose a beast there, also presence. For C1, we can probably do something about that as well. I think that this is going to be a pretty trivial first turn. We're going to gain some energy with Whirlwind. We're not going to play any cards with Whirlwind. We'll probably have Shadows jump over to Whirlwind's board. Set up a counterattack in F2. And then, let's see, we can give extra range with Gift of the Sunlit Air, so we don't actually need to be in F2 or use Shadow's special rule for concealing shadows, which is really nice. So let's start with Whirlwind. I'm going to go bottom track. I want to just try and maximize out all of our card plays. And then Shadows, I'm going to do very, very standard opening for me at least, which is gain energy and go to 2 card plays. We'll play Mantle of Dread and Favors Called Due. We're going to pull an Explorer from C1. We're going to Mantle of Dread to clear C4. And then we're going to Favors Called Due to get Dahan into F2 for a big counterattack next turn. Whirlwind's not going to play any cards. We're going to save that for later. I think I want to pull this Explorer into C2 rather than C5. Don't know that it makes a huge difference, but I always like to concentrate Invaders. We might have different feelings on that once we get to the higher levels where lots of Explorers can start really wrecking our day. All right, and the Invaders go to the Sands. So that's actually pretty good in some ways, because we can just make C2 a gigantic mess and then solve it later. So Mantle of Dread on Shadows, solve C4. Oh, do we actually want to do something about F8? No, this is more important. So let's just concentrate all these guys in C2, make that a giant mess, but one that we can deal with later. Gather some Dahan in. We will get Fear, thankfully, which is nice. And then let's have Whirlwind gain a power card. Where is Whirlwind going to grow to this turn? We could solve F1, or we could do a jump over to board C and solve C6. But if we do that, we probably want Shadows to grow and make a Sacred Site in F5, just so that we can get that Explorer out of F1, pull them into F2. I think that's fine. So let's have Whirlwind gain a power card first. We'll see on minor, and then spur on with Words of Fire. That's kind of nice. Give Shadows a chance to play some extra cards. It has good elements for Whirlwind. We might even hit Shadows level 3 and 8 with that at some point. Cycles of Time and Tide is great. Clean up some Blight or add to Han. Encompassing Ward I don't think is going to do enough right now. And doesn't really have great elements either. I mean, it has Sun, but no air. And then Razor Sharp Undergrowth. I'm not seeing a good place for Razor Sharp Undergrowth right now with Whirlwind. We could do a little bit of damage in, say, F8, but I just don't think that's going to be enough. So let's take Spur on with Words of Fire. We might not play it this turn, but we might save it for a future turn. And then we'll grow. We're going to get to 3 card plays. Hop over here. Push that Explorer out. I'm going to push them to... Let's push them to C7. Concentrate that one a little bit. And then... Shadows. I would normally take the extra energy here and just hop into F5, but I think I'm actually going to gain a power card instead. Reason being that we're going to get some extra energy from Gift of the Sunlit Air and possibly later from Gift of Windsped Steps. So Shadows is still going to be able to afford to do some stuff, and we might even be able to delay our Reclaim turn by a little bit now that we've got Spur on with Words of Fire, and go for the top track to get a little bit more energy income on Shadows. So let's start with a minor, see if we get anything useful. We did get some stuff that's useful. Oh, wow. Gift of Nature's Connection is almost always really good. We could probably... Goodness, we could hit Whirlwind's level 3 and 8 this turn. Could we even hit level... Whirlwind has 3 card plays. We could hit Whirlwind's max level in 8 this turn. That might actually be well worth it. I'm thinking about that. Twilight Fog Brings Madness at least has Moon and Air, which is neat. Adding Strife could be good. Savage Maw Beasts lets us pick off some things. Doesn't have great elements. Carapace Land gives us some defend, especially in lands with beast tokens, although Shadows isn't adjacent to any of those, right? Well, I guess C4, but we're already in C4. So I think Gift of Nature's Connection has to be the pick here. Like, this is just such a good card, and is I think going to be nuts in terms of what we can then do with it with Whirlwind. So let's do that, and then Shadows. You know, I think I am gonna play Spur on with Words of Fire because of that Gift of Nature's Connection. I don't really have a place I want to use Tempest of Leaves and Branches. So we're gonna play the other powers on Whirlwind, and then that means Shadows can go top track for now. Get a Sacred Site there, play these 2, and then we will play those, and then Gift of Windsped Steps. I kind of wanted to play on Shadows for the energy, but I'm thinking I actually am going to use it on Whirlwind now. Because again, Tempest Leaves and Branches, we can like ping and Explorer, which doesn't seem all that great. But Gift of Windsped Steps could let us do Violent Windstorms, again at max level, to just wipe out a land somewhere. So I guess we're gonna do that. Although, if we have it at, you know what? Let's not do it that way, because if we have it at max level, if we do it at max level, we can let them build a city in F8 first and then clear the city immediately afterwards, which seems really good to me. Just get that extra fear from it. So let's do it. Finish playing cards. Let's spur on with Words of Fire, play Gift of Nature's Connection, Gift of the Sunlit Air to give the extra range, Concealing Shadows in F2. Let's also pull a... sorry, I should Gift of Nature's Connection first here. So let's... I want to gain 2 of a single element, and I want to gain 2 air on Whirlwind. And then on Shadows, it doesn't really matter what we take, because we're not going to get an extra level of our threshold. Let's just take Moon in case we get like an event that cares about Moon. That does happen sometimes. And then Darkness Swells the Unwary. We'll gather that Explorer. Tempest of Leaves and Branches. We have basically one target for it, which is F7, which is kind of underwhelming, but it kills the Explorer, at least gets it out of the way. Distant Exploration, Invaders explore +1 distance, no pocketing. That's fine. We didn't really have a pocket yet. Grim Toll is going to do some damage to Invaders, which is neat. And then Fierce Mean will hopefully get us some fear. Maybe like 1 fear. So Distant Exploration, resolve this. Let's go ahead and take out, I think, the town for the fear. Do we want to take out 2 Explorers instead? Let's take out the town for now. We can get away with that here. And we get a fear card. Each player adds a strife to a town. Okay, well, let's strife that one, and then we're going to destroy this one in a minute anyway, so we might as well just double strife this one. Invaders ravage in the jungle. We take a blight, but we clear the land. And Wetlands explore. All right, that's a little unfortunate up there in the corner, but we'll get through it just fine. Let's see here. Violent windstorms. I'm going to push from F8 to, let's say, it doesn't really matter too much. I'm gonna leave the random explorer there. So let's go into the jungle and then push the town in, and then we'll deal 2 damage here. Kill the town, 4 damage there, kill the city. Crops wither and fade. I think we want to do C7 here, because we might be able to just get to a almost clear board in just a moment if we do a good reclaim here with shadows. So let's downgrade that town. Now has a double strife on it, which is kind of ridiculous. Shadows is going to reclaim, gain a minor. We could gain a major potentially, but I don't think that's a good idea here. All right, we got a few options. Visions of Fiery Doom and Land of Haunts and Embers are the big ones because they've got the moon and fire, so we could potentially start hitting shadows upper level innate with that. Pull Beneath the Hungry Earth, not too interesting. It is some damage potentially, but I don't think it's going to do enough. And then Confounding Mists, not so appealing, just because they do have all the bonus damage. So right now they're going to be taking 9 damage in C2. Just defend is not going to be anywhere near enough to handle that. I think I'm actually going to take Visions of Fiery Doom rather than Land of Haunts and Embers, just because that way we can solve C5 cleanly without having to actually put more Blight down. And we can also use Shadows Innate somewhere else to gather an Explorer. So let's do that. Whirlwind. Let's see. I want to speed up Crops, or I want to speed up Favors Called Due to try and pull a bunch of Dahan into C2. And so I'm going to use Gift of Windsped Steps for that. And then we're going to have Scatter to the Winds. I think Whirlwind here, we just gain another power card and get our air element off the bottom track. So let's gain a minor. The other thing is we could go reclaim Speron with Words of Fire to give Shadows a 3rd play this turn, but I don't think that's quite important enough. Oh, actually, here, give me a moment before I gain that power card. If I want to solve, well, if I just want to solve C2, then Shadows just needs Concealing Shadows and Favors Called Due, which is probably enough. We're not, actually, we are pretty close to Terror level 2, so yeah, let's do this. We'll let some builds through probably. Or maybe, just trying to think which other powers does Shadows have here that might be. If we Gift of Windsped Steps, we can stop some builds. If we use it on Whirlwind instead, and then we can just let C2 go and try and max Shadows Innate next turn, in order to take out the city and hopefully just win there at that point. So let's go ahead and gain the power with Whirlwind. See what we get. Ooh, Dire Metamorphosis is fun. Here there'd be monsters. Kind of fun. gets some fear, but I don't think we have any good lands to target that one right now. Devouring Ants, not the most interesting. It could be some damage potentially, but I think I want to take Dire Metamorphosis. Just use that to like get a bunch of tokens down in like F3 or something in exchange for a blight. And that gets us more beasts on the island as well, which is nice. Although Here There Be Monsters does give us fear, and if I am trying to rush to Terror level 2, that might be more important, because we can get... Well, we can't quite get 3 fear with Here There Be Monsters because we're not in the right lands. Do we... Let's see. We're only going to get our level 1 innate with this draft because we didn't get any sun, which is okay. Let's take the higher fear card. Let's go Here There Be Monsters. And then we will go ahead and grab an explorer out of one of these lands. Maybe we should just go into C8, because then we can Here There Be Monsters there. And then Shadows can pull an explorer out of F7. Yeah, let's do that, because then we can speed up Here There Be Monsters with Whirlwind and stop the builds, as well as getting fear. And so Shadows can... So let's play all 3 of these. We're still only going to get level 1, but that's fine. And then Shadows, I want a Visions of Fiery Doom, and I want to save some of these for next turn. So let's Visions of Fiery Doom, and let's Gift of Nature's Connection, actually, because then we can either give Whirlwind the extra sun to try and blow something up somewhere, or we can give them some energy, which they could probably use because they're going to be a little low next turn, and then we'll just take the Blight in C2 and go from there. So let's try that out. Gift of Nature's Connection on Whirlwind. I'm gonna go ahead and gain. Oh, I kind of want to do the 2 energy just to see if I. Well, let's do the element, because then we can like push from like C7 or something and deal a bunch of damage somewhere, which seems pretty useful. So we'll gain 2 sun, and then Shadows will gain. We can get an extra fear if we take the fire, but I'd rather have the Explorer control. So we'll get Darkness Swallows the Unwary. And let's pull this Explorer. Let's pull them onto this board here. Get them out of there, and then Visions of Fiery Doom here. Push this Explorer into the giant mess that is C2. And then Gift of Windsped Steps we're going to use on Whirlwind again. And then Here There Be Monsters to push this Explorer out. And then get 3 fear. All right, Titan Communities. Buildings get +1 health. That's fine, not a big deal. Prey on the Unwary. We moved all our Explorers off our beasts, so that's unfortunate. And then finally, Coming of Age. We get to add a Dahan to a coastal land, so let's go ahead and put 1 there, and we'll get 1 there as well. All right, each player adds a Strife and a land not matching a Ravage card. I guess we'll Strife this Explorer, and maybe this one too, just in case. Yeah, let's do that one. Let's do that one. Ravage in the Sands, build a town, and they explore in the sands. So we're going to escalate, get a couple of explorers. I do not want to put them in land 8. I guess I'll put them in land 4. And we do get some in land 7, which I didn't really think about that with the escalation, but we can solve that here in a minute. All right, Violent Windstorms. So let's go ahead and push. We also have Scatter to the Winds. So this will push 3 things. We can't quite destroy any buildings, so let's just kill some explorers with that. Let's Violent Windstorms here, push them into this land, and then let them die to the damage. Scatter to the Winds. I think we want to solve I think we want to try and solve F3 here. I'm just seeing if there's anywhere else that actually is like a concern right now. Because we don't really have a defend for that. So yeah, let's do that. We'll push the town to, let's push it to F2 and push the explorer into C4. All these explorer parties that I am making that I'm going to regret on the next level of difficulty, but it is what it is. All right, Shadows, I want to draft another power card, see if I can get lucky and get something with Moon and Fire. I'm probably not going to because I've already burned a couple of those powers, but I think that's going to be our best bet at the moment. Whirlwind, we're going to definitely reclaim. Let's gain a minor. We don't really have enough energy for a major. And Portent's a Disaster, perfect. That'll get us to the next terror level, and has perfect elements for us, and is just generally a great power for us. So let's do that. We do need a Sacred Site, but we have Sacred Sites, so that'll be fine. So yeah, let's take it. Shadows, I'm going to take a power card. Let's gain a minor, see what we get. Elemental Boon. That has perfect elements by default. Yeah, I think that just wins us the game, or gets close. I'm not sure if we have a way to deal with that town, at least in the fast. So let's take Elemental Boon. We could take one of these other ones, but I think Elemental Boon is going to be the one that actually just solves it for us. So do that, and then grow into, does it matter too much where we grow as Shadows? Let's grow into F2 just in case, because then we can downgrade the town more easily. So Mantle of Dread, Crops Wither and Fade, Elemental Boon, and then over here we need to play Spur On with Words of Fire. We might as well, let's see. We want Portents of Disaster. Violent Windstorms is going to get us something good. I think, yeah, because we'll be able to Elemental Boon for some of the elements we need. So we can just play any of these, really. Tempest of Leaves and Branches would deal some damage, and then we can use Violent Windstorms to deal the rest. So I think that'll get us the win here. Do I need any other gifts played? I don't think so, because we have Spur On. So let's try it. Spur On with Words of Fire on Shadows. We'll play Favors Called Due because Concealing Shadows does nothing this turn. Elemental Boon, we need Moon, Fire, and Air. Moon, Fire, and Air. And then that gets Shadows to its max innate. So we will hop over here. Can we actually hit that with Portents? No, we can't. So we'll hit that with Portents. Darkness Swallows the Unwary. Let's gather this Explorer. Destroy 2 of them for some fear, and then deal 3 damage to the city. And then Tempest of Leaves and Branches. They're gonna build in the sand still, so this is not ideal. Okay, so we're not gonna quite get to the win this turn. My mistake. Tempest of Leaves and Branches. Let's just take out this jungle. Because we can't hit this sand, unfortunately, and we can't hit that sand, unfortunately. Life's Balance tilts. We do not, I think, want to let destruction have its day. I don't know that we have enough animal to fortify life easily. I guess we've got a couple on Whirlwind that we could forget. And that kind of thing. 1,000 Small Struggles shouldn't be a problem. Invaders into Han have -1 health this turn. Do we have some damage that would actually make that be useful? So let's allow destruction, because it doesn't put the beasts on onto the Ravage, or onto the Russia card as far as I know. So let's allow destruction. Choose for me. Let's lose that beast and add a disease to the sand to stop the build. Lose that beast, add a disease to the sand to stop the build. Choose for me, and we get to add a blight to land, or to board F. So let's add a blight to this irrelevant mountain. 1,000 small struggles, that shouldn't do anything. And then we get strife in one of those lands. I don't know that this makes a difference again. So let's just strife that one, and let's strife the town, because it has very little health anyway. Right, invaders explore in the wetlands. We get escalation explorers, and I don't think it matters because I believe we now violent windstorms on it. Again, doesn't really matter. Let's do it here. Push that to there. No damage there, and then deal 1 damage there, and that should be victory. No buildings left on the island. There we go. All right, that was a little messier than I expected it to be, but generally pretty clean. So yeah, that's Russia 1. Nothing too crazy yet. We're gonna have lots and lots of that though as time goes on. So we'll see how this goes as we work our way up to the next few levels. Thanks for watching, though. If you have comments on the game, let me know in the comment section below, or join me on Discord. And again, if you are seeing this within the 2.5 days of when I'm recording it, go ahead and vote in the Geek Madness Finals. Let's try and get Spirit Island over Twilight Imperium. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thanks for watching.